Hey, we've been trying to get this on the books for a while, and I know that Mondays are best for you. So I'm so glad we made it finally work. Chandra, tell us again about who you are and what you do.
So, my name is Chandra, and basically, this is new for me. Getting into this, I got into doing dogs and being around dogs on accident when I was going through a lot, and I realized they were companions. And not only that, as women and single women out here, things can get really scary for us. And I realized having a dog, a big scary dog, that could really help us with dangerous people out there. So I created a couple programs that we're in process of making right now to help women rebuild themselves and basically put these dogs in place for women for protection. Not only that, Marcus is coming into place to help train these dogs up and getting them to women who are dealing with domestic violence or any type of mental, anything that they might have going on. Kids alone are a lot to deal with. And so, having a dog that can just help in any type of way, especially out there, even going to the grocery store, you see people out and about and it can be scary. You don't know what someone's thinking or you're trying to protect your kids. So having these dogs in place can really just impact a lot and help women.
Well, it's amazing that you're bringing your lived experience into something where you were like, this is benefiting me. How could it benefit other women? Marcus, tell us a bit about your background, because I know you're what, Northwest dog trainer, right?
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about what got you into it, and give us a lay of the land from the beginning.
Of course, absolutely. Honestly, for me, it was probably the same thing where it kind of was by accident. Pretty early on in my childhood, I kind of got attached to dogs. Like that was kind of when I was going through things. My relationship with my dog kind of helped me through a lot of different experiences, and that's where kind of the affinity or the passion for animals kind of came about. I continued forward. Started to get under other people and get mentors to kind of learn from. I ended up starting this training facility about 3 years ago, just south of Seattle. And even when I started, I didn't intend for it to grow to what it's grown to. I really just wanted to go in there and work with my dogs. And one by one, people kept coming, and it kind of just turned into something that I wasn't prepared for at the moment. And so we just pour all of our feelings and our heart into what we're doing with these dogs. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about dogs, right? And so like this is really, it's phenomenal to me to know that in our backyard right here, we have a black dog trainer, right? Like, I mean, I in my mind, I can only imagine that you must be like an anomaly in the city, maybe one of the only ones, or one of the ones that's like out there and really promoting yourself. Is that right?
I know a couple of them.
Okay.
Actually, one of my mentors, Bob Smith, he's in the Tacoma area. He's almost 80 years old. He's been training dogs for a long time. He's probably one of the first people that I got together with and started learning from. I also have a couple of close friends that are they're black as well, that work with dogs. And so there's not many of us. And I know as a child or growing up, I never realized that I could even, be a dog trainer or make that a career, because there was nobody out there that looked like me that was training dogs. And so knowing that and being where we are today, I do try to make sure that I push that out there so that other people coming up that are interested in dogs, that they understand that they can do that as well if they want to.
Now, is this something that you just learn as a practice? I mean, is there actual formal training for this? Tell us more about how you got kind of certified to do this work.
Yeah, a lot of mine was hands-on experience with different mentors. Once I started gravitating towards it, like I said, Bob Smith was my first mentor. And then I kind of worked my way down the line and worked with some really, really good trainers in the area and trainers in California as well. There are a couple of formal schools. There's not many that are close by, but there are opportunities for people out there to go out there and learn more about dogs.
So in this regard, are you saying that you actually kind of open yourself up to be another mentor for people that are coming up and wanting to learn this?
Absolutely. I think that's really important to me. And that's kind of one of the things that drives me to continue to move forward every day, because I know there's so many people out there that are looking to learn, or they have a passion about animals and they don't know really where to go with that, which is kind of where I was at that age. And so I want to just make sure that people realize that opportunity is available to them. So,
yeah, I mean, Chandra, you've been, talking about your lived experience with dogs, and what got you kind of connected to Marcus, in the beginning? How was that connection for both of y'all?
So, my son actually took a liking to Mastiffs, King Corsos, to be exact. They're huge dogs. They look like Black Panthers. They're scary. And so when my son got it, I was like, I don't know what to do with this dog. And that's when Marcus came in place, and realizing Marcus has a King Corso. So I was like, great. So I kind of just let him take my dog under his wing, which my dog's name is Scar. So that's where the name came above. And yeah, I mean, Marcus has kind of guided me through this. And then I realized, okay, these King Corsos are the #1 family dog out there for a few reasons. They're great with kids. I have a 4-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old. They're great with all of the kids. And then on top of it, they're very protective. So they won't let anything happen to my children or me if they are around. And that's what caught my eye right away with them. So.
Well, that's where I start to get all the way mixed in, because I'm like different breeds, and then they want to mix the breeds. I mean, there's a lot going on with dogs, but also America is very prone to having dogs in their home, right? Like when you go to other countries, when I was in Kenya, they're like, oh, our animals are here for jobs, like they do a job, right? In the village or something. So it's not like, oh, they're like, don't pet our like that's not what we're not here to do that, right? But here, dogs are in strollers, dogs are in hearses, dogs are, what I mean? Dogs are everywhere. Yeah. And this idea of dogs as a companion is something that's really settled here in America. It's like they say dogs are a man's best friend, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit about how you guys have experienced that kind of litany, because when you talk about your services growing, it's obvious that they're needed, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I will say the culture with dogs has shifted so much just over the last 10 or 15 years. Because when I was a kid, when we had our first couple of dogs, my first dog never even seen the inside of our house. Like my mom was like, the dog's going outside, wintertime, summertime, it didn't matter. He's under the carport. And to go to now to where we are today, where you're right, like dogs are a part of people's homes and their families. Like they're integrated. Like dogs have their own bed. For some people, their dogs sleep in their bed. And just seeing that shift in the relationship has definitely made dog training much more needed, because trying to integrate an animal into your home like that with different family dynamics, you got to have really good structure and discipline, and there needs to be consistent communications in that relationship. So yeah.
Well, how long does a service take? If somebody comes to you and they're like, I don't, this dog is untrained, I just got this dog. What does that process kind of look like? Walk us through that a bit.
Well, we start from square one, and how long it takes really depends on where they want to go with their dog. I don't tell people what kind of goals they need to have with their dog, because everybody has different ideas of what they think a good dog is. Some people want to be able to go hiking with their dog and have a good experience. Some people want to be able to go to Starbucks and be able to sit down and read a book with their dog. And so their journeys look very different. But we just really focus on the relationship building between the dog and the person, and then also making sure that their communication is really clear. And that process might be a couple of months. It might be a year. I've got people that have been training with me for almost 2 years. And it's not because they're not progressing. It's because as they meet one goal, now they have another goal. Now they want to, do things better or try to perfect different things with their dog. So it can keep going for a long time.
Wow. I mean, I'm just so intrigued by this. So I want to hear more about this. You're talking about services to protect women. Tell us what SCAR is and what it stands for.
So SCAR stands for Supporting, Caring, and Rebuilding. So I'm coming up with a few programs right now that are also helping women with, their mental state. It's past dogs, it's past companions, it's past any protection. I really want to get some stuff in place. When I was going through a divorce, I went through a lot. I went through depression. I went through just a lot of mixed emotions. And that's when I got my dog, and it helped me a lot. It got me out the house because I had to walk. It got me out the house because I had to go get him dog food. It got me moving. And once I realized that, I noticed, okay, he's starting to become a real companion. He sits at my front door pretty much all day long, waiting for someone to come in. He really does guard my family. And that's what I love about him so much. And he's caring. He's not aggressive in any type of way. He's very friendly, but he also knows, to protect. And that's what I like about him. Like I said, there's a lot of scary stuff that goes on in this world. And he's in the back of my truck most of the day too. If I'm in my truck, he's in my truck. And it's great because I feel really safe. Mm-hmm. So women that are going through domestic violence, might not have an out. the number one thing that women get when they are dealing with domestic violence are guns. And sometimes that's not the best option. Maybe they just need the dog, or just, there's just different protection levels that can come with these dogs that I'm going to be providing.
So, okay, I want to make sure I understand it too. And for the audience, when somebody wants to come to SCAR, do they come with a dog they already have? Do you guys help people find dogs?
We will provide the dogs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We will provide the dogs. I have that going right now where we will put dogs in place for women.
This is a phenomenal idea, honestly. I mean, and there's so many different levels of what protection looks like for somebody, right? Like that's also a personal thing when you're talking about, not giving the goal for a dog owner to know, okay, no, they come and they tell you and then they work with you through whatever the goal is. It's the same in terms of protection. So this being another option for people who are finding that they need those kinds of options, they need something additional for that level of protection is really phenomenal. In terms of where you guys want to take this partnership, I mean, this is the beginning. This is exciting because you already are established as a dog trainer.
Yeah.
You clearly are bringing your lived experience to this venture. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are really hoping for and hoping the community, how they resonate with what you guys are going to bring. I'll start with you, Marcus.
All right. That's a great question. Honestly, I'm just looking to, because that relationship with the dog is so important to me, and honestly, community is really important to us as well. I just see this as an opportunity for people that need that type of help, people that are going through different traumatic experiences, to really just have somewhere to turn to, because not everybody has that support system, whether it be family or friends, or maybe they don't realize that they have that support system. And so having a companion that they can kind of work through those things with, I think it's tremendously helpful for so many people, to prevent them from going into depression or anything like that. So really, I'm just looking to try to help as many people as possible. I mean, she has the idea for the women thing. We've got some other ideas too that I think will be helpful for people, that anybody that's going through a traumatic experience. And so that's where we're going with it for now.
Yeah. I mean, we know dogs provide different layers of protection and comfort. I think about, companion dogs. Sometimes through certain services, people say, no, what you need is a companion dog, right?
Sure.
And so there's a lot of different ways that dogs are now in our homes. When you think about some of the goals, tell us a bit about what you're really hoping for in terms of this new venture.
So when I had my kid company, the community backed me up 110%. And I'm hoping that they'll do the same with this. I wanted to get into something that I could help in the community more than what I was doing before. So, and I'm noticing now that I'm a single woman out here, that there's a lot of us out there, and that need support, that maybe just need a friend, or, I want to come up with a group of women that this is past, just getting a puppy or getting a dog. It's a sisterhood, and we all support each other, and we're all here to lean on each other when we're having a bad day, or whatever. That's really what I want to make it more than just a brand. I want to make it a supportive group for women.
A real community.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it sounds like both of you guys are in on this thing 100%, 10 toes down. I absolutely think it's something that's so phenomenal, and it's cutting edge. When you can find a great niche, you can almost oftentimes there's a market for it.
Yeah.
And they were just waiting for the opportunity to exist, right? And so, understanding that this could be like a one-stop shop. Okay, you're going to get a dog, you're going to get a puppy. It's going to have training. It's going to be trained to protect you and your family. That's all one thing. I can come to one service for that.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go to multiple places, or the burden then isn't on that woman, right? To be like, man, I'm not feeling safe. It's like, no, I get to utilize this as an opportunity. I'm going to make sure we give you guys some time to look right there in the camera. Let folks know how to connect with you. I'll start with you, Chandra. You look right there at that one right there. That's you guys' camera, at the one closest to me.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram as Chandra_Heart of Gold. Or that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have a Facebook.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and it's at the Northwest Dog Trainer. We also have a website, which is www.nwdogtrainers.com.
Right on. Right on. You guys, thank you so much for
Thank
joining me
you.
today. This is really great to know that y'all are partnering, that y'all are out here and really willing and ready to serve community. Thank you guys.
Thanks for
you,
having
Trae.
us.
Absolutely. Wow.